Hey everyone, Hans here with another video. It's been a while since I recorded one. Very happy to be back and hopefully it's a video all of you will enjoy. So today I'm going to be talking about a data dump that I recently um, shared with everyone. And I got a lot of requests of people asking me how I built it, how I got the data. And just to remind everyone, was a data set that had intent data from Bombora. For those of you who don't know, Bombora is a tool that does intent data, and it basically score accounts for online activities that they perform and see what type of content they interact with, what kind of white papers they download, what kind of intent they're showing, what kind of products they might be interested in. And besides that, it had information on investors, investing rounds, etc. So I'll show you the data dump just to give you a bit of a refresher, and then I'll dive into how I actually built it, which is really simple and straightforward, which is always good. And hopefully, some of you will find this helpful. So here's the actual post around the data dump, and as you can see, so has funding round, main investor on that round, business leader details, growth insights, top three Bombora intent topics, and some similar companies, etc. So the data set, if anyone wants it, is still available. You can find it. I posted it 2 weeks ago on my LinkedIn. Then here is what it looks like or looked like in Clay. So here's a lot of the data. Let's just start from here. So I basically took the like Clay template with SaaS companies, and then added the investor, the round, whether or not they were the lead investor, SEMrush, web traffic, metrics, business contacts, their LinkedIn URL, the country they're in, business description, some similar companies, and the board topics. So all looks really impressive. And I mean, it's a great data set. It's very interesting data, but luckily there's a really easy, straightforward way for you to build this as well, for you to enrich your accounts that you're targeting with the same type of data. And for that, I would have to introduce you to Rapid API. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Rapid API is an API hub, API marketplace where anyone can host their APIs. If you've built an API, imagine you have a database, you build an API on top of it, or it's some sort of real-time scraping, then you can host it on Rapid API, and then developers or whoever is building a product that includes data can go on there and they can use your API and obviously pay a monthly fee or pay for credits, etc. So all the APIs in here, they're built by, let's say, the community, just by developers, and there are a lot of really random APIs on there. And it's not like the way with Appify, for example. Most of it is business related, or at least can be used for, let's say, business use cases. Obviously, depending on what type of business that you're in. Well, here there's a lot of random stuff around sports and what have you. But it has some like it has a business category in here. If you go to view all category, there we go. That's the business category. It has a lot of different things. Quality really varies, but if you're into APIs and data and all that stuff like I am, then you dig around enough, then you'll stumble upon some very interesting finds, including the website intelligence API built by Mr. Anthony right here, or Restyler. And basically what it looks like he did is he has access to a Crunchbase Pro subscription with all the add-ons like Bombora and all that added to it, and he is either scraping that in real time or he scraped that already and he just hosting it as a database. Doesn't really matter a whole lot, but it's very interesting data that he's able to provide us with. Pricing is pretty straightforward, pretty low as well, I would say, depending on your use case. So if you're reaching out to 5,000 accounts per month, then for $35 per month, you can get access to this data, which I think is pretty fair. Then 30 requests per minute, that is something we need to keep in mind. And I will show you in a second how we can do that, because if you send more than 30 requests per minute, you will run into errors. rate limiting related errors, and we want to move around that, obviously. Then these are the different endpoints that we have available. So you can look up companies, you can look them up based on a LinkedIn account, you can look up things like domain authority. There are different endpoints available. I'm not gonna go into all of them, but let's see, I think the lookup or the lookup all endpoint is the one that we're using in this video, and I can actually check that. Yeah, lookup all is the one. So that gives you all the data, and you just need to provide it with the domain, and then it will enrich all that for you. So we'll get Crunchbase data, straightforward stuff like description, but also all this info right here, like the SEMrush data or SEMrush, however you want to call that, key employee change list. So if they have any new key hires, then the Bombora search list is the one that most people got excited about, and rightfully so. So you get the Bombora data, and it's pretty fresh, the data as well. So I'm guessing there's a lot of real-time scraping going on, which I always appreciate. And even though it's likely doing the scraping in real time, it's really fast as well. So that's really impressive. And just whatever you can find on Crunchbase, like diversity spotlight, the investment list, funding rounds, acquisition. It's a big list. I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's, to sum it up, there is a lot of data in there that for a lot of people, for different reasons, can be really, really interesting, can make for great qualification of accounts, great personalization, segmentation, what have you. Then gets mostly basic LinkedIn data like description and all that, and then gets some metadata that again, could be interesting to some, but I think most people would get mostly excited about all of this data right here. So how we set this up? So you have here the the host, that is the let's say the base URL. So you can see here. So this is actually the URL that we're going to be performing the request to, and then the endpoint is the lookup all endpoint, and then let's see if we just set this to curl. Then this is what the request would look like. So you can basically just copy and paste this, and then you go to Clay. You get the HTTP API, so the API connector from Clay. The method is get. Then you copy and paste this in here, and then domain is the company website. I haven't tested it, but I'm assuming it has to be formatted as this. So only, let's say, the top level domain. I'm not sure that's the right term, but just the domain, not the HTTPS, www, and all that. So that is the dynamic value that we're pulling. So then your API key goes in here. API host, that is just a header that you have to add. You can just copy and paste that from the Rapid API website. And then I already mentioned the rate limit. So we want to set up a custom rate limit where what I did for now is 5 requests per second. What is that? 5 requests per second. I haven't I've tested it on a batch of 3,000 companies, and I think I had to rerun it once to get rid of the errors. So that's pretty decent, and that's good enough for me. So that is the setting I can definitely recommend. And then, as you can see, well, there's not a great example, but you get all of this data right here that we just showed in the Rapid API. Let's say preview the API documentation. Then you get all this data in here in in Clay. Now it's a lot of work going through all the different columns that you're looking for and adding them, but it's worth it if you want to build some really cool and extensive data sets. And so you can pull the context, like the main business contact from these companies. I've added only 3 Bombora topics for now, but you get up to 10 Bombora topics. You get the let's say the score, so how let's say a confidence score, so how confident Bombora in this case is with the intent this company has for actually purchasing a product or service in this category. And you get all of that, and you can just simply pull that into Clay. That's how I built the data set. As you can see, looks really impressive, maybe looking at all the data that you get, but with the right source, with the right data source, in this case, the website intelligence, API built by Mr. Anthony. It's actually pretty easy and straightforward to build. So hopefully you found it helpful. If you have any questions around setting up this type of thing, then drop them in the comments below. Happy to see if I can help. If you have any other requests, always eager to hear those. For now, thanks for watching. Have a great week ahead, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.